Hi guys, welcome to Darren's Travelling Corner, and today you've joined me at Portsmouth, just gone 5:05 in the morning, as we take you along the series of Coastliner buses and we go through each and every single ticket zone boundary stop on the way from here in Portsmouth across to Brighton. Now there are 8 going in the direction, well, there's 7 going in the direction going towards Brighton, and there's 6 coming back here. So the ones that we're going to be looking at going forward to Brighton are Portsmouth, Havant, there's one in South Hants, Chichester, Bognor Regis, Littlehampton and Worthing, and we'll go through all of those as and when they arise. Now my bus is due in about 6-7 minutes, and I'm just going to make sure that I get there on time, because with this process coming from here going up to Brighton is going to be quite an arduous one, because not only do I plan to do all the boundary stops, but I also plan to go end to end on a couple of buses, and I'll explain as to where they are. But join me back in a bit, guys, as I take you around the first of the boundary stops. See you in a bit. Welcome back, guys. You just joined me on the front of the 700 and just make our way up to the first of the boundary stops. Now, just so you know, that what we plan to do in this case is we look at the boundary stops. So I did recording 2 stops leading up to it, so then you get to see where they all are.
This is the Portsmouth ticket zone boundary stop,
because Solent Road after that is in Havant. And then what we'll end up doing is this bus will now go across the motorway into Havant, and that's where you'll find the next one. But as I mentioned earlier, I'll start recording each of these boundary stop clips when we're 2 stops away in each one. And we are at
700 to Chichester,
Hilsea Lido, which is the ticket zone boundary stop for Portsmouth, this bus anyway. Join me back in a bit, as I'll see you at the boundary stop for Havant, going towards Chichester. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys, and you just joined us now in Havant. Just so you know, these next few boundary stops are going to be rather quick succession, because they are quite close together. Now, I was just thinking earlier, which ticket zone is going to be the smallest, as in terms of the buses cover. Well, it's going to be Havant, because there's literally only 5 stops in it. I mean, I would have said Littlehampton for 700, because you only have 3 stops and then you bum out. But then you've also got the bit where you've got the 701, which we're going to be getting later on in the video, and that covers you up to Roundstone Bar, which is what you're going to hear again later on in the video. But for now, here comes the next one.
this is the Havant ticket zone boundary stop,
And that's 5 stops. It's really interesting, this route so far, and I absolutely love it. But join me very shortly as I take you into the next ticket zone boundary stop for the Coastliner buses. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys, and you've now joined us in Emsworth. Now, I did say this one was going to come in quick succession, as with the other ones, because these boundary stops are really close together, and we've come across two of them in the space of not even 5 minutes. Just about two. So yeah, Rick Jackson has just mentioned that joined us in Emsworth, and this bus stop is actually the last in Hampshire. And I think we're a little bit ahead of schedule actually, so we'll find out. I think we are a little bit ahead of schedule.
700 to Chichester.
It's always a good idea to do these 2 stops ahead of time. So you have some form of idea as to what to expect. But draw me back in a bit as I will then just carry on from where we left off. See you in a bit, guys. And we're back, and we are back on the move. And this is what's going to happen next.
Next stop, Hermitage Bridge. This is the South Hants ticket zone boundary stop.
Thank you, Rick. Because the bus stop that we were at just now, that was the last in Hampshire. One thing that I noticed is the speed signs on the West Sussex county entrance sign, and the Hampshire one's gone. So now we are in West Sussex, and a very big county it is too. But join me back in a bit, guys, and I will take you through the area of Chichester. See you in a bit. Welcome back, guys, and you've now joined me in Chichester for literally a 3-minute pass by. So this is one of the places where you'd expect me to visit when I change over to the next bus that goes to Littlehampton. Now, the one thing I do need to point out is that while you're here, the 700s alternate between going to Littlehampton and Yapton. Now, the 700s used to all go through Yapton when they used to be in one piece, but now the only 700s that go through Yapton are the ones that terminate there, which is a really interesting turn of events. Now, I can't hang around for too much longer in this area because I've got to get my bus ticket back out. I can't use my bus pass at the moment, not until 9:30. So what we'll do is we'll see you in a bit, and I will take you to the Chichester boundary stop as we arrive into Littlehampton, or make our way towards Littlehampton. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys, and we just joined us at Chichester, another 700 bus, and we've just gone past the Hornet, which is 2 stops away from the next boundary stop. So York Road is next, how Amy just pointed that out, but then we know what's going to come up next. But the sun is now starting to rise, but unfortunately it's just starting to rain, and oh no, we are stopping but that comes in handy because this bus is jogging about like no man's business, and here we are on the next
700 to Littlehampton.
But this bus is jogging about like no man's business, and I thought I was going to drop my phone a few times. But anyway, here comes the next stop.
The next stop is the Peacheries. This is the Chichester ticket zone boundary stop.
Thank you, Amy. And with that in mind, having said that, I've been on the 707, so you saw that in my West Sussex video, and it branches off that way, branches off to the right as we
The next
go into
stop
Chichester.
is Cathedral Business Park.
Now, interestingly enough, the Peacheries is the ticket zone boundary stop for Chichester, but the Cathedral Park is also part of Chichester. It's just rather unfortunate that that is not in the Chichester ticket zone. Now, I was just thinking to myself a little, just earlier, along the lines of what's going to be the smallest ticket zone. That distinction goes to Havant, because it's literally 5 stops. But Chichester's ticket zone is fairly small as well, because we didn't stay in there for too long.
The next stop is the King's Head.
Join me back in a bit as I take you through a passing by area of Bognor Regis. So we'll go to the high street of Bognor Regis and I'll see you there. Welcome back, guys, and you've just joined us now at Bognor Regis as a quick pass by. We're at the high street now, and we're making our way, carrying on towards Littlehampton. Now, I've been here a few times on video, and I'm going to be coming here again as an upcoming challenge that I've got in the pipelines. But what we've got in that challenge, but that remains to be discovered. Now,
700 to Littlehampton.
it looks like it's going to absolutely hammer it down with rain later on in the day. It doesn't look too promising at all. It's already been raining. Windows look a bit wet, and I tell you what, I don't think we were expecting any rain, but we end up getting it anyway. Look, we're not too far away from...
The next stop is Den Avenue.
Okay, we're not too far away from the Bognor Regis ticket zone boundary stop, but what I'll do is I will do the next clip and I'll see you in a bit as we come up to it. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys, and you've just joined us back in Bognor Regis, and we're at Flansham Park, to be more specific. Now, the ticket area of Bognor Regis covers North Bursted, and Bognor itself, of course. There's North and South Bursted, Bognor itself, Flansham, Felpham, and it does turn out to be quite a big ticket zone area.
700 to Littlehampton.
We've got Amy on the way through the whole route. On the last one we had Rick Jackson, who's a well-known radio presenter in the Portsmouth area. But we had bits of Amy.
The next stop is Alfriston Close.
We had bits of Amy going through the announcements to sneak into the party, as it were. So we're not too far now from Littlehampton, and we are about 7 o'clock, 7:05. This is really interesting. It's been an interesting journey so far. I'm just thrilled to be taking you along with me. And there's the 700 there. Going back to Chichester. And we're at Alphaston Close. Yeah, I've really enjoyed this route so far. It's just a shame that it's all split up. I mean, I could understand why they've done it, because there are two sets.
700 to Littlehampton.
There are two sets of level crossings between Angering and Goring-by-Sea stations, and these buses seem to get caught by both of them. At least it's stopped raining now, which is a good thing, but doesn't mean it won't begin again soon. But anyway, the next bus stop is coming up, and here we go.
The next stop is Hillier. This is the Bognor Regis ticket zone boundary stop.
Thank you. Well, on that note, join me back in a bit as I take you around the area of Littlehampton. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys. You just joined us now at Littlehampton. Another layover, because I've got to change buses. Now, what we're going to do at this point, because we're at Littlehampton, I want to get 7:01. We're going to go to Wick first, and then we'll go to Lancing, and then after we've done that, I'll then go to Worthing, and then we'll get the last of the buses that goes to Brighton. So the way we're going to look at that at this point is we'll do Wick, Lancing, Worthing, Durrington-on-Sea and Brighton. That's how that's going to pan out. Now I'm waiting for a 7:01, which is due in about 8 minutes, something along those lines. Now I am a bit behind schedule. I was meant to have gotten the 7:01 at 7:18, and judging by the fact that I'm here means that I've just missed it. Now also, as you may notice behind me, we have a building that's about to get knocked down, which is a shame. This used to be a Waitrose, and it's about to get knocked down. So the bus stops will be changing soon because of it being temporarily moved just while this gets knocked down. But join me back in a bit as I take you through the area of Wick, and then we will continue on to Lancing. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys. You've just joined us at Wick, and we're going to we're on the 7:01 for the first time, and it's just changed to Lancing. I decided to take you around this area first before I carry on, because what we'll do is we'll then find the ticket zone boundary stop for Littlehampton. But we're going to go to Lancing with this, because this bus goes to Lancing. I'll go off the Lancing station, and then we'll get the bus back to Worthing, and then we'll do the Durrington and Brighton that way. It's been a really interesting journey so far. I started in Portsmouth, we're now in Wick, and we're only about halfway through the journey. I'm already a bit behind schedule, already a bit behind schedule because of late delays. I've also noticed that the announcement on this bus as well just said 701 rather than 701. I think it makes more sense for it to read it out in digit form rather than the whole number. I personally would have said 701, but there we are. Limster. I think it's Limster. Like it is with Lemster. I think it's also pronounced Limster. We'll have to have a look at that. But we're at the start of the route now, going to Lancing. So I'll see you in a bit as I take you up to the boundary stop of Littlehampton, going towards Lancing. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys, and you've just joined us on the 701, making our way into Lancing, and we're just coming up to we're coming up to the ticket zone boundary stop for Littlehampton, and Ashford Drive is a stop that's 2 stops before it, and then we just all this time I thought to myself, oh, 701, that's a nice brand new bus route. Didn't realise it's split from the 700s. But the one thing I do notice at this point is that it's almost exactly the same route as the old 700.
This bit's different.
But this bit, I've got told, is a little bit different because it's not calling, it's calling at the garden centre, whereas it didn't before.
701 to Lancing.
So without further ado, here comes the next part of trying to find the boundary stops.
Next stop is Roundstone.
There we go. So it's garden centre, Roundstone Farmers after that, and that is the Littlehampton ticket zone boundary stop. I've just tried to call for the one that came 2 before it, but in this case it'd be 3 before it. This is interesting. But I'll keep the camera rolling until it gets announced. I did mention earlier that Roundstone Farm was the ticket zone boundary stop here. But I'm going to have Amy say it as well. This bit's different. I don't ever recall coming down here when it was the 700. And I see some train tracks. This shows promise. I actually think this works because this cuts out having to wait at the 2 sets of level crossings between Angering and Bognor-Regis, which is what you would have done if you were originally on the 700. We're going to go this way, and then we end up on the A259. I see Portsmouth on our sign, and that's where I started this video. That's interesting. But join me back in just a little bit as we get to the ticket zone boundary stop of Littlehampton. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys, and we've now just making our way up to the garden centre. So I just called a little bit of a break because the distance between the 2 bus stops that you'd heard is quite a bit of a distance. This is a rather peculiar part of the route that we find ourselves on. It's really enjoyable. So there's the Roundstone, yeah, there's the Roundstone, then we'll turn here. This is the garden centre. And then the next stop after that is Roundstone Farm, and that should be the Littlehampton ticket zone boundary stop going towards Lancing, Worthing and Lancing. Here we are at the garden centre. Let's see what happens. I shall show you. It's just nice to know that there's scrolls now. It didn't beforehand. Thank you, Amy. And here comes the next part. We are gone like an auction. Wonder where the farm will end up being.
Next stop is Roundstone. This is the Littlehampton ticket zone boundary stop.
Thank you. So we'll see you in a bit, and we'll arrive at the railway station of Lancing. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys, and you've just joined me outside Lancing station. So I just thought I'd quickly show you here as to what you'd expect. So we are heading towards the tail end of what was the 701. I'm going to take you over to this bus stop here because this is where I'll end up reboarding, and we have platform 2 for Littlehampton, Bognor Regis, Chichester and Portsmouth, and platform 1, which is this platform for Hove, Brighton, Haywards Heath, Gatwick Airport, East Croydon and London, Victoria. There's Anne Jeremy. And then we've got the 701, which is every 15 minutes. Just really interesting. Yeah, this is 15 minutes. And the 9s are every hour, because the 9s run here as well. First time in ages since I've been to Lancing. Now, the station here had one of its platforms extended, so originally both platforms could only fit 4 coaches. Platform 1 can still only fit 4 coaches, but platform 2 has now been extended so that they can now fit 8 coaches. But like I mentioned just now, platform 1 can still only fit the 4, which is, can only fit the, they can still only fit, this platform can still only fit the 4. But that's to stop, so it did 8 stations, it did 8 coaches on the way back. They extended it to 8 coaches to stop it from being an overlay. But you're still going to have a bit of a hangover. You're still going to have a bit of an overspill. Yeah, that's the right word for it. Still going to have a bit of an overspill if you've got 12 coaches. But join me back in a bit as I take you back on the same 701 that I've just got off, and we'll be making our way back to Worthing. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys, and you've just joined me back on the same 701 that I've just got off. We're going to make our way back to Worthing. I mentioned earlier, this is the first time in ages since I've come to Lancing, and I will say it's been really rather interesting. So it's Worthing next, then we'll get a 700, we'll go to Durrington-on-Sea, and then we'll chase down the last of the boundary stops. Well, I say boundary stops. It's just one boundary stop left now, because what we'll do is
The next stop is Leconfield Road.
not only will I then look at the boundary stops on the way to Brighton, I'm going to look at them as well going back to Portsmouth. And one of them serves not only as the boundary stop for Worthing, but it is also the boundary stop for Brighton as well. And I will explain as to which one that is as we come up to it. But for now, we'll just make our way back to Worthing and we'll take the next bus and we'll do a round to Brighton. See you in a bit, guys, as we make our way to Worthing. Welcome back, guys, and you've just joined me now at Worthing for the first time. And I tell you what, this one has been definitely a journey worth undertaking. Now, I'm just going to make my way into Durrington-on-Sea, and we want to make sure that we do that, and then we go up to Brighton, and then I just take it around as much of the Coastliner route as I possibly can. Now, this 700 is not due to go for another 7 minutes, so I just thought I'd quickly hop on here and just to take you just around this part of Worthing. I will be back here again as I do the connecting services back all the way to Portsmouth, because I've got to change at Chichester and Littlehampton as well. But this is the first time also that I've been to Worthing fully, and I must say that I'm very impressed. I will make a full day of it at some point, but for now I'm going to call it for this part, and I will see you on board the 700 as I make my way to Durrington-on-Sea. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys, and you've just joined me back on another 700 just coming out of Worthing. Now, I do plan to make a full day's worth of travel to Worthing, because I need to explore it fully before I can pass off any judgment about it. But from what I can see so far, it actually looks really nice. But as I say, I do want to make a full day of it before I could pass off any genuine judgment about this place. And that's just the one thing that I aim to do with this sort of travelling series. And with that in mind, oh, there's an M&S there, but I got distracted. There is one particular place that I've been to many years ago.
700 to
Durrington-on-Sea. That's where we're going next. Speaking of Durrington-on-Sea, I've been there many years ago, and it looked pretty grim. I mean, the railway station was branded by the press as the grimmest stop in the south, but that's been refuted by both Southern and Network Rail. But I think this is the time for me to go back to Durrington-on-Sea.
The next stop is Augusta Place.
I think this is the time for me to go back to Durrington-on-Sea to see if there's any improvements. So I've been past the station on the train a fair few times, and it does show some potential now, but it still remains to be unknown as to whether this potential has
Stop is Queensborough.
gone into any fruition. But we will look at all of that as I make my way back to Durrington-on-Sea, and I will see you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys, and you've just joined me outside the Tesco in Durrington-on-Sea. Wow, I just am trying to work out whether or not the hype was all worth it. I mean, Durrington, or if you want the full name, Durrington-on-Sea, it was my nemesis from 16 years ago, because I went to the boulevard shops just as I got off at Durrington-on-Sea station, and there wasn't a lot there. Now, we're talking 2009 since I last came here to Durrington-on-Sea, and here we are now in 2025, and I'm just thinking maybe things have improved after all. I mean, there was a bit of the area that looked a bit grim, I cannot lie, but so far what I've seen has been a massive improvement, and I can safely say that this former nemesis of mine is no more. Well, I'm going to nip into Tesco's for a bit just as I make my way back. I mean, I'm lucky enough, there are 5 700s from here an hour, and they all run to Brighton, which I'm happy to announce. So we will see you on that 700, and this time I will be continuing on to Brighton. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys, and you've just joined us back on the 700 at Durrington-on-Sea, and my overall review of this place, because I've seen a bit more of it now, is that it certainly looks a bit better than it did when I came here last time. That was in 2009, mind you, and this is 2025, but there's still a load left here that needs to be desired. It still needs to do much better, but it's making a start. And if you go to the left or to the right in this case, you'll find the station of Durrington-on-Sea. And there's some shops, but there's certainly more shops opened at the Strand than there were when I came here in 2009. Half the shops were shut.
700 to Brighton.
There we go. And these buses are every 12 minutes between here and Brighton. And there is an extra clip I want to show, that I want to do, because we're finally going to be coming out of West Sussex on this bus, and I'm very excited to take you on that as well. But join me back in a bit as I take you up to the next ticket zone boundary stop. In this case it will be Worthing. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys, and you've just joined us now at Lancing, and with that in mind, we're just not too far away from the ticket zone boundary stop for Worthing. Now, it's an interesting one because not only is it the ticket zone boundary stop for Worthing, it's also the ticket zone boundary stop for Brighton as well. I actually did this 3 stops away from the ticket zone boundary stop, and normally I would have said 2 stops, but you will get to hear it again rather shortly, but you'll hear it twice because we've got the Broadway here. Well, this looks like a nice area. Let's have I'll just pan over and show you what we're expecting in this area of Lancing. I've got next door, I had a drink earlier. Winsling, yeah, and then the next one after that is the one to take note of. Just, we're stopping at the moment. Wensling Cottages. There we go. I like the look of that.
700 to Brighton.
Thanks. Thank you for completing my sentence for me, Amy. Not that I knew that I was going to say it. But we are making a move. And here we go. This is one we need to take note of. Thank you. Well, join me back in a bit and I will see you in Brighton, guys. See you in a bit. Welcome back, guys, and you've just joined us on the bus in Southwick. Now, I know that I said that I was going to wait until I get to Brighton, but there's something else I wanted to show you as well. I mean, look at this for one thing. We're just driving along the coast of Shoreham and Southwick, but there's something else that I wanted to show you while we're here as well, and that is there's a particular stop along this line that I'm going to give you some information about as well, and that is coming up. Now. And this is the last stop in West Sussex, because we're now just about to go into Brighton and Hove. That's the start of East Sussex. The West Sussex sign has faded here, but we all know that Southwick and Fishersgate all belong to West Sussex. It's part of the Ada District Council. So welcome to East Sussex, guys, specifically the council area of Brighton and Hove. And I will say, join me back in a bit as I take you through the area of Brighton. See you later, guys. Welcome back, guys. And now I can officially say that after 7.5 hours of going through, chasing up every single ticket zone boundary stop I can find, that I have finally arrived into Brighton. And my goodness, it was a long journey. I knew it was going to be long, but I didn't realise it was going to be that long. 7.5 hours. But then again, that's because I chucked in extra areas such as Wick, Lancing and Durrington-on-Sea. But I'm finally here now, and I'm going to have an explore around the area before I even think about making my way back home. But now I've done that, I've done all the ticket zone boundary stops leading up here to Brighton, I've now got to go through them all on the way back home. That's going to be fun, and I shall keep everyone updated, but for now I'm going to enjoy myself in the area of Brighton. Haven't been here for a while, and it feels great to be back here. See you in a bit, guys, as we begin the journey back home, so I can then sort out the ticket zone boundary stops going back the other way. Welcome back, guys. You just joined me at the front of another 700, and this time we're going to start making our way back into Portsmouth. So we're just coming out of Brighton. Tell you what, I really enjoyed it. Spending some time here. It's just, I love doing this sort of stuff. sign there. So there's the entry to Brighton, because if you have a look, which I'll show you in a bit, we passed a co-op and it said Hove on the other side of that sign. So this bit is Brighton, and we're on
700 to Durrington.
on sea. But we're going to be changing at Worthing this time. But this is where the hunt for all the ticket zone boundary stops back home begins, and one will be coming up soon. So join me back in a bit, guys, and we will go through that together. Welcome back, guys, and you've just joined us back at Shoreham by Sea, and this is the high street. I do actually want to make a stop here again at some point. I've been here for years
To Durrington.
on sea, and I know I keep doing that. It's just the full name of that place is Durrington-on-Sea, and I just feel the urge to always wanting to complete that. But I want to come to Shoreham by Sea and do a full day of it. There used to be a train that ran from here up to Guildford, went via Stenning and some other places, and unfortunately it's been closed many years ago and the track's been lifted. But if you go along the area, that particular area, you can see where the tracks have been. Right, so we're going to be back on the move, and we're just coming up to another boundary stop. Well, we will be in 2 stops time. Just letting people on first. It's just, there we go. We are going. We are gone, like an auction. And we're just going to go over the bridge. Also, just as another sign of interest,
Stop is Lido recreation ground.
just as another sign of interest, this very place hosts the oldest recognisable airport here in the UK. I think it still has its main structures. It's just over there. Don't know whether or not you'd be able to see it, but a bit too far away. But this is what you need to take note of.
The next stop is the Longshore. This is the Brighton ticket zone boundary stop.
This is also the Worthing ticket zone boundary stop as well. Just thought I'd put that out there just in case you didn't hear that earlier. But join me back in a bit as I switch buses again at Worthing. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys, and you've just joined us back here in Worthing. So I've just got off the 700, and that's going to continue on to Durrington-on-Sea. There's 2 behind them. There's one behind it as well, and it's incredible. So you've got Durrington-on-Sea to Brighton, and now 24/7, which is incredible. I wonder though what the 2 buses doing behind them, what 2 buses are doing next to each other. So I'm just going to take you around this part of Worthing because I've not been here before, and I think this would be a good place to start, particularly when it comes to exploring a new place. There's the pier over there, Worthing Pier, and I love it. Probably one of the best places so far. Also, I was just torn between, no, the smallest ticket area without any shadow of a doubt has got to be Havant, because you're literally the only 5 stops. But I was just ticking over in my brain what could have been the biggest one. And I think it's, I was torn between here, the Worthing ticket zone, and the Brighton ticket zone. Now, the Worthing ticket zone consists of Goring-by-Sea, Durrington-on-Sea, Worthing itself, and Lancing. But then the Brighton ticket zone consists of Shoreham-by-Sea, Southwick and Fishersgate, Portslade, Hove, and Brighton itself. I then end up giving that distinction of it being the biggest ticket zone, giving that distinction to Brighton, because it covers all of that. Well, join me back in a bit as I take you up to the next. I'll take you up to the next of the boundary stops, which will be for this ticket zone of Worthing. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys. You just joined me at the back of a 701 and we're just making our way into Littlehampton. So you've just joined us at Goring-by-Sea and we are 2 stops away from the next ticket zone boundary stop. So we've just had the Longshore, which was Brighton's ticket zone boundary stop. It's also Worthing's as well, as I mentioned earlier. But I just thought I'd point out again, just in case you didn't hear it earlier on in the video, because it was a bit quiet. The final product and that bit was a bit quiet. So I just thought I'd mention it again. So to say, we're just coming out of Goring-by-Sea, which means the next, so we've got Anchor and Close next, and then we've got the next one after this, which we'll get to hear any moment now. Never realised how far distance these can be, these bus stops for a ferry. Thank you. Just in case you didn't hear it, Amy said the next stop is Langbury Lane. This is the Worthing ticket zone boundary stop. So see you in a bit, guys, and I will take you into the second changeover at Littlehampton. Welcome back, guys. You just joined me in the middle of a 700, making my way back to Chichester, and this one
700 to Chichester.
will bum you out. So if you get a Littlehampton ticket, if you get a Littlehampton day ticket and then board this bus, you will literally be bummed out after a very few stations, a very small handful of stations, and by a very small number of stations I mean 3. That was 1, this one's number 2, and then the next one is the one you need to take note of.
This is the Littlehampton ticket zone boundary stop.
Straight away, and that's after 3 stops. So yeah, not much point in getting a 700 or a 500 for that matter, on a Littlehampton day ticket, because you literally do bum out after just 3 stops. Yeah, that's sort of the interesting way to do things. So join me back in a bit as I take you through another passover at Bognor Regis. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys. You've just joined me now back at Bognor Regis. Now, interestingly enough, when I first started this video, I was in pitch black and it was coming up to sunrise. But now we're 4:30 and I'm just about to head into sunset. Yeah, the sun's just starting to set, it's getting dark again. It just comes to show that it's just spooky how fast times fly. The times fly when one's having fun. I mean, I have been recording this for about, well, I've been recording this. I've been up and about now and travelling for 12 hours, and that is counting the bus that I got into Portsmouth, so I can then start the video, this video in particular, and I just hope I don't get busted at the end of this buscapade. So you joined us at Bognor Regis, and we're going to just pick up a few people, and I am going to carry on with this bus journey, and I'll take you to the ticket zone boundary stop for Bognor Regis, which isn't too far away at this point. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys. You've just joined us back in North Burstead, and I'm just sort of getting confused over where ticket zone boundary stop for Bognor Regis would have ended up. Well, 2 stops beforehand, so we're just coming up to New Barn Lane, which is heading towards the outskirts of North Burstead, and we're heading our way towards Chichester. And yeah, I think I made the right call, because if it's anything to go by, the next stop will be the one to take into account, one to be taken note of.
To Chichester.
We shall find out.
The next stop is Brazwick Avenue. This is the Bognor Regis ticket zone boundary stop.
It is heading towards Chichester, and that's it. You've just seen now the other end of the ticket zone for Bognor Regis at Brazwick Avenue. It says next stop Brazwick Avenue. This is the Bognor Regis ticket zone boundary stop. You probably heard that as well. So the next ticket zone we end up getting into now would be Chichester. And thank you. See, join me back in a bit, and I will see you in Chichester. See you in a bit, guys. And welcome back, guys. You have just joined me at Chichester bus station. I just thought I'd take you over here quickly, just so I can then get a clip of video done, just as I just hang around the area. One of the areas in particular that I love, we've got so much to see here in Chichester. I used to come to college here many years ago, and also it was while I was at Chichester College that I then had the knack of starting my own podcast show. I did some videos prior to that, but here I am back again 16 years later, in the place where I started it all. Did some other bits in somewhere like Amring and Barnum, but yeah, this is the main place where I started it all 16 years ago. It just comes to show that we can expect some great things in the future. I mean, I absolutely love what I do. Anyway, I'm stood between the bus station and the railway station of Chichester, and this is definitely one of my favourite places here in the south of England. Well, join me back in a bit, guys, as we stay in Chichester, but we take you to the other ticket zone boundary stop. See you in a bit, guys. And welcome back, guys. You have just joined me now in Fishbourne as we just come up to the stop that is 2 stops away from the boundary stop going into Portsmouth. And this was the one off Chichester. So you saw the Peacheries earlier in this video, which would have been your Chichester boundary stop going towards Littlehampton or Yapton. Those buses alternate, so one goes to Yapton and the other goes to Littlehampton. And
700 to Portsmouth.
so you saw those, and now we're going to see the other way. Oh, hello. It's not going to be for a while though, by the looks of things. I think. Yeah.
The next bus stop is closed.
I was just going to say that. You just completed my sentence for me, Amy. You can never get enough of her. I've had Amy on the buses all day, and now she comes along and completes my sentence for me. But we're stuck at a four-way traffic control system, and yeah, this one's going to take quite a bit of time. So join me back in a bit as I go over the roadworks and we rush to the next ticket zone boundary stop. See you in a bit, guys. And we're back, guys, and we're just making our way over the roadworks and past the closed bus stop, and the next one is where you need to take note of.
The next bus stop is closed.
So the next one is where you need to make note of. The next stop is Hillier Garden Centre, and that is the Chichester ticket zone boundary stop for buses going towards Portsmouth. And I mention it now because Rick Jackson didn't, and that's because this bus stop I think is also closed, or it followed the bus stop that was closed. Yes, that one is also closed as well. I definitely want to pay a visit to the garden centre because it definitely shows a lot of promise and a load of flourishment as well. Join me back in a bit, guys, as I take you through the second boundary stop of the Havant area. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys. You've just joined us now as we are pulling out of Havant bus station, and we're just going to come up to the last of the ticket zone boundary stops. We will be in about 2 stops time, and then after that we then go on the motorway across to Portsmouth. So you get to see that, the ticket zone boundary stop of Havant going towards Portsmouth, and then we can wrap things up in the very same place where I started it all off in Portsmouth. We're just Bognor Road first. Just waiting for this traffic to sort itself out. Unless this isn't doing what I think
Next
it is.
stop, Bognor Road.
Yeah. We are in the wrong lane for that. We could actually be diverted on our way to the motorway. And if that is the case, I'll tell you where. I'll tell you if that is the case, and I will tell you where the ticket zone boundary stop for Havant would have been. We're just stuck at a red light at the moment. I think we are getting diverted. We're in the lane to turn right instead of left. No, we're turning left, which is what we're supposed to do. It just comes to show how small the ticket zone boundary stop of Havant is. It's tiny. So this is stop number 4.
Next stop, Solent Road.
And this is stop number 5.
This is the Havant ticket zone boundary stop.
And that is that straight away. So you bum out. Absolutely no point in getting a Havant day. Absolutely no point in getting a 700 on a Havant day ticket, because you bum out after 3 stops one way. Assuming you started at the bus station, you bum out after 3 stops one way and 2 stops the other. But yes, this is the ticket zone boundary stop for Havant when you're going towards Portsmouth on a 700. Join me back in a bit as we wrap things up in Portsmouth, and I just can't wait to tell you what an epic journey this has been. See you in a bit, guys. And welcome back, guys. You have just joined me back here in Portsmouth, where I get to wrap everything up. I'll tell you what an adventure this has been. I couldn't get over how mad and how rad everything's been. Also, talking about this, we're in the beginning of November and already we have something to do with Christmas. I mean, I know it's only about 6-7 weeks away, but yeah, it sounds like some shops are already getting a bit ambitious. So I've got that. I've got my bus due in about 10 minutes, and I am going to get ready just to snack on something just while I wait. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.